You can't read?
No.
No?
That's why I read comics, so I can look at pictures.
Well, we're live, so now we know that Shipley can't read, actually.
Yeah.
So I don't know what we're doing here, guys.
Yeah, we're going to teach Shipley how to read.
Teach Shipley how to read.
Let me see if it's not. I didn't get a notification yet.
Yeah, you gotta
There we go.
pump it up to that one.
We're a little bit behind.
It always is a little bit behind. But alright, guys. How's everybody doing? We have...
Oh, I thought you were talking to us. You were talking to the audience.
Yeah, if there is an audience. I mean,
yeah.
McKay, you haven't been on in a while. What's been happening, man? Let's.
I don't ever have time to do anything.
Yeah.
My papa used to always say the way I run around, I was eventually going to run into myself. So that's on the table.
Oh,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's why we had to have you back for the other good sayings.
Yeah, we have to have you back.
We're missing Josh this week, but Josh will be back with us next week.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, which is great. Yeah, so we're a little worn out today. It's
I'm exhausted.
Yeah, it's been a busy weekend. You can't see it, by the way, but right next to us is a tree with presents underneath it. And what's the deal with the tree with the presents, McKay?
We always do our annual gift giving for Christmas. It's no questions asked. If anybody needs Christmas presents for the children, it's one per child. We have them marked for the particular
Ages.
Ages and appropriateness and such. And it's always very popular. It's we try to help support the community and it's just something we've done for the last few years for Christmas.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So since we're a few stores, this is for Nirvana. So if you're in the area, you don't even need to be a customer of Nirvana.
No purchase necessary, no questions asked.
Yep.
Just, we do ask the honor system that you limit it to one per child, so that there's enough to go around for everybody. Yeah, we've already had a lot of phone calls today since we posted about it, so we try to sustain it for as long as we can. It just depends on how long the donations.
Yeah.
You are welcome to donate.
We'll see this.
Yep. Still taking donations.
Still taking donations.
And thank you to everyone who has donated.
Absolutely. But we try to do it as long as we possibly can.
Yeah.
And as long as supply, dictates.
Yeah. Let's make sure that no child gets left without a present to open on Christmas.
Yep. I would say too, important. If you go to the Nirvana Facebook page, make sure to share it too. Help us get the word out.
Get the word out.
I can tell you myself, it's like when I was 6 or 7, my dad was in the military. We were in Washington State, right? Mm-hmm. And my dad was, still just getting in the military, so he wasn't making a lot of money, and my mom wasn't working. And the first year we were in Washington, because when you move, it's a lot of money goes into the move. Mm-hmm. And they couldn't do much for my for Christmas, but they found a place that was doing kind of the same thing, and they got me a Spider-Man toy and a Spider-Man comic. And I could tell my mom was crying at the table, feeling like she had failed me. But I loved it. I loved opening the presents and just knowing that they did this for me. Mm-hmm. They sacrificed so I could have something. And unfortunately, times are tough right now. So I'm kind of glad that we do something like this. And thank you also to all the elves who have came in to help us wrap.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Jazz and Grant were going to put me on wrapping duty, and then I just laughed at them. I go, you don't want that. Because I wrap all my presents in aluminum foil.
You wrap all your... Yeah.
Come on. No. Come on, what are you going to say then?
I was going to say,
you got a funny?
I was going to say, all he knows how to rap is Tupac.
Yeah, Tupac. I don't think he's dead.
I don't think he's dead either.
What book do we want to start for this week?
Let's start with, because it's a number 2, let's start with this one right here. Let's start with Absolute Superman.
Okay.
So... obviously, the Absolute books have been just banging them out. They're incredible books. And this one is another one that it's nonstop action from the first page. It had a lot of really cool interactions with Superman and Lois.
Yeah, the stuff with Lois and Superman is really good. I was like, no, we got kind of more of a time frame too, because he was on Krypton 6 years ago.
Yeah. So he's only just kind of recently come to Earth.
Yeah, it's not. And Crypto better have made it with him too, because
Crypto
I'm right
better
now.
be there.
I'm like, Crypto better still be around. I would say too, it's kind of redundant that we keep doing the absolute books because every week it's just they're good.
They're good.
This one is also good. I think and people are responding to it because Bleeding Cool News, they tally 400 comic stores across the country to see what their best-selling book is of the week, and this, I think, doubled the sales of this.
Wow.
Yeah, so the absolute books are still burning it up. What did you think, McKay?
Of the
Absolute
Superman.
Superman.
Yeah.
You know, I think of the three, I mean, going into the second issue, I think it might be the strongest, like, world building. Like,
Okay.
if it's going to continue to be an ongoing,
Yeah.
they're different stories.
Yeah.
The three of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the character we have needed a new story from the most of the three was Superman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the changes that they tweaked to his origin and backstory, I think, are very compelling.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's really strong world building. It's stuff we know, but we don't really know, just like the other books. But I don't know. I just really like what it seems to be the direction they're going with here.
Yeah, same.
And I like the Brainiac is almost like the man behind the curtains.
Mm-hmm.
Because you see him typing stuff in when Lois is putting in her report.
I think so. My prediction with Brainiac is actually the who would have normally been Superman's dad.
Okay.
Which is John Kent.
I think so, yeah. Because they've shown the Kent farm at one point and it's been taken over.
And I think John Kent is now Brainiac in this world. That's my prediction. I could be wrong.
My theory how we're going to get the Bizarro in this world is since Superman's his suit is computerized, I think the AI is going to take over the suit at one point. And
kind of like almost like a symbiote type
but where Superman had more dealing with like a normal suit. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
But yeah, reviewing it wise, I will give this 4.5 Caleb's.
Yeah. So McKay, we now review things on a 4 out of 5 Caleb's.
Out of a 5 Caleb's, up to 5 Caleb's.
I give it a 4.
You give it a 4 Caleb's?
Say 4 Caleb's.
Yeah.
4 Caleb's.
4 Caleb's.
Yes.
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 I'm gonna give it a 4.5 Caleb's.
Yeah, we can have our Caleb's too, but not in real life.
Not in real life.
We do not have Caleb's. What's our next book?
Next book, I say we go. What do you think, McKay? Should we talk about Venom, Two-Face?
Yeah, let's talk about Venom.
Let's talk about Venom here.
Let's
have you start it off.
Let's let you do all the Venom.
I have been really disjointed with Venom for such a long time.
Amen.
Same.
Because it just, I don't know if it's a byproduct of the Sony movie fiasco or just that, I don't know, I've lost interest in Venom over the last 20 years.
Okay.
And just, if it's not, I mean, I cared more about it when he was more of a, a Spider-Man villain.
Yeah.
Not that I don't mind him being the anti-hero thing, but I just feel like the whole thing's been wildly played out. I mean, every couple of years you have another event where everybody's a symbiote for 3 months.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I can't tell one from the other.
No.
Venom War, Absolute Carnage. Just it's the same thing.
It's too much.
Yeah.
It's over and over. It's too repetitive.
Yep.
I'd be happier if he just went. And I don't mean just to be an old cranky old man kids get off my lawn guy, but I'd almost be happy if there was a spell where it was just a little simpler again. Like I don't need all the symbiote gods and the and the massive everybody's a symbiote for 3 months because
it ruins
2
the special.
years.
It ruins Venom's special.
I'm just exhausted. I'm exhausted with it.
Agreed.
And at least I like that they're trying to do something new with this.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like the mystery angle. I like that you've got like 4 suspects. But I hate to say it, but it's still like a little contrived.
It's a little contrived.
It really is.
It doesn't feel like just a a natural thing in this universe. It just feels like a marketing.
I hate it how many times they actually use the phrase "all new Venom."
Yes,
Like that
pissed
drove me a
off.
little crazy.
That pissed me off. They're like,
But-
"Oh, it's all
Yeah.
new Venom."
I mean, you can do this without. It signals to me there's a little voice in the back of my head that says they don't know how to do this character anymore.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
It's got to be a marketing thing.
Yep.
You know, it's
Yeah.
got to be it's got to be this thing that I don't think there's a, since they're trying to get away from what the core thing of this character is
Mm-hmm.
or was in the first place.
Yeah.
I think they've lost its voice.
What I like about it is I like the whole, like, it's almost like a locked room mystery where you have the 4 suspects, and the suspects are Madam Mask,
Mhm.
Luke Cage, Rick Jones, and the most interesting to me, Robbie Robertson.
Yeah, Robbie Robertson.
And I'm not saying it's not interesting, and I am intrigued,
Yeah,
but it's I don't know.
yeah. Now,
I'm not saying I don't like it, and I'm going to
Yeah.
continue to follow it. It's just like, wouldn't it have been a lot better if they was just
it was just Eddie
you
Brock.
had a
Eddie
slow.
Brock.
Well, even if not that, even if you had to do the new Venom,
Yeah.
instead of just forcing it into this,
Yeah.
you know, why can you just not have a new Venom for like? I hate that everything has to be so compartmentalized and forced now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You can't have like a big multi-year rollout like the Hobgoblin saga was,
Yeah.
like the Scourge saga was in Captain America back in the day.
Yeah. Number ones are just super important to Marvel, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, just that you can't just have a new character running around being Venom and build the mystery up slowly and organically instead of just saying, here's 4 people. Who is it?
It's also cracking me up that each one of them would say something to make you think they're suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about forced in, though, the end of this book really made me mad.
Oh,
Everybody knows how
me
I feel
too.
about Zeb Wells' run.
We're gonna talk about
And-
it. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, McKay can, if he likes, he was
It's
okay with Zeb Wells.
It's getting played up too.
Paul shows
Okay.
up. Now,
Yeah.
one thing I did on Blue Sky, I did reach out to Jordan, the editor that used to edit the X-Men books, and I just said, it's hard for me to read this. I'm not a Paul guy. Why couldn't you have just simply put Peter Parker or Flash Thompson in this role?
Mhm.
And he said, well, we didn't do that because Flash Thompson and Peter Parker are going to play a bigger role in this overarching story with all new Venom.
Mhm.
So I'm liking that. I'm gonna try a few more issues of this to see
Yeah.
where they go, but I do feel a little lackluster on the book.
So here's the thing. This book, it was hard for me to get through. Also, hi to Steve and Nolan.
Howdy.
How you guys doing? So with this one, it was hard to finish. Part of it was due to the entire book, except for maybe 1 to 2 panels, takes place in a courtroom, and they're just arguing over.
Well, they're fighting.
They're fighting.
Yeah, you got AIM soldiers.
They're fighting, but it's
Yeah.
like I don't this week for comics was just a lot of courtroom drama,
Yeah.
which you'll see when we talk about another book.
I think they should have a courtroom drama show where it's a bunch of crows and they can call it Call in Order.
But yeah, no.
A
So
bunch of Caleb's. I can think of Paul in Order. I knew I had it there. Okay.
God,
But anyway,
no, why?
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So this one, I mean, it was okay. The last Venom that I thoroughly enjoyed was the Donny Cates, Ryan Stegman run.
And I dropped off that. I mean, I got the omnibus, so
Mhm.
I mostly read it, but that's when the symbiote thing was at its worst to me.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's just it became like an anime, which is good. I know a lot of people that like the Donny Cates
Yeah.
run, but
I
like
loved
with
it.
like with McKay, I just like the simple times where it's just Eddie Brock and he's
I agree with y'all. I definitely
Yeah.
would like to see Venom go back to a simpler time. To kind of end our discussion on this book, I think we should all go through and say who we think the new Venom is.
I think my hope is Rick Jones, just because, like I said, old school here,
Mhm.
and I like Rick Jones having a place in the Marvel universe.
I'm gonna say my guess is that it is Luke Cage, simply because in the book, spoiler alert, Luke Cage gets thrown out a window, and the next time you see him, Venom is there.
Okay.
So that's my prediction. What about you? Who do you think it is?
I mean, looking at it at face value, I mean, it seems like it's Luke Cage.
Yeah, that's how I'm thinking.
With the gold, with the gold to the to the costume, and seems like in the long run, of course, that could just be misdirection.
Yep.
Not only was he thrown out the window, but he comes back in. He's clearly buttoning his. He's disheveled and he's buttoning his. Of course, that could just be the old school, just the internal craving for old school in this. I kind of be cool if it was Robbie.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
And I do love, like you said, the idea of Rick Jones being relevant again. In the kind of sidekicky role or being the next man up in a superhero guise, which he's done before.
Yeah.
But I think the least likely is Metal Mask, which probably makes her the most likely. In the logic of Marvel here.
You're right. You're right.
Because I don't see what her motivation would have been to have done what she did.
Yeah.
So that makes it probably more likely that the least likely person probably is the person.
Yeah.
But I swear to God, Marvel, if you're watching this, if you do a twist and it ends up being Paul, I am flipping this table.
Yeah. It's Paul. Oof.
And now, I don't know if you've noticed in the reading of this, but it seems like they're at least playing with us with the fact that they talk about the problems they're having and the fighting. So it seems like maybe Paul's days might be numbered.
Yeah.
And
I hope so.
And I also, I hope so. But I also hope Marvel doesn't spoil this surprise when they're doing their previews for like what's upcoming issues. And stuff. I want to know. If I stay reading the book, I want it to reveal.
They have a knack for spoiling stuff.
I'm going to ask.
Yeah.
The $5 million question that I don't even know if Mac might not even be able to give an answer to, but I know you will.
Okay.
There's only two. I'm just saying because it is an obscurish, an obscurish thing.
Yeah. I'm a young lad.
But exactly, but because there's only one other time. Well, no, that's not true. There's two other times.
Yeah.
That a character or a thing going on in Spider-Man has been this reviled as Paul.
Yeah.
And the main one other one I can think of is the Sins Past.
Sins Past with the two. That's probably the worst.
With the so-called, and they've retconned it out.
They retconned it out.
The idea that Norman Osborn had children with Gwen Stacy before she passed, and then of course the what felt like 5-6 year Clone Saga.
The Clone Saga. A lot of people did not like that.
I guess my opinion is, how far does Paul rank up the hate scale of horrible Spider-Man movies?
For me, he's below the Norman Osborn Gwen Stacy thing, because I think that was the worst. That was character assassination. And the Scarlet Spy and Ben Reilly, years past, I grew to like Ben Reilly, but at the time I despised that storyline. But with the all new Venom, what are we giving it ranking wise?
I'm giving it a solid 3 out of 5 Caleb's.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say 3 Venom Caleb's.
Oh, 3 nice.
Venom Caleb's. Whoa.
I will give it 3 all new Caleb's.
All new Caleb's. Okay, so we're all around the board 3s.
Yeah, 3s.
I think that's pretty fair.
I don't know if I'm gonna pull it, but I work at a comic book store, so I may just read it on downtime.
Yeah.
What's the next one?
Let's do the Marvel Tales to Astonish.
Let me do that. I'll start this one off.
Of course.
So they do this every year. They're fun books. Like, you always get like 3 or 4 Christmas-related stories. They're really all over the place as far as continuity goes. They just get a bunch of like fun teams like Dugan and Noto to do books. Here's my biggest problem with Holiday Tales to Astonish. I counted how many pages of story this was. It was 29 pages, right? It's just a normal, regular cover. $6.
Yeah.
Like, don't tell me that, hey, we're celebrating the holidays and then charge your customers $6 for what should have been a $3.99 book.
Mm-hmm.
That really kind of made me mad. I liked all three of the stories. The first story is Fantastic Four centric, and I thought it was fun. The second story, it takes place actually between an issue of Uncanny X-Men 141, I think they said.
Yeah.
With Kitty Pryde, she's still new to the team. And then the last story just has Miles and Peter teaming up. I thought the stories were fun. Nothing that really blew me away or anything like that. But for me, it just kept coming back to the price.
Yeah.
The price point, I felt like it was higher than it really needed to be. What'd you think, McKay?
It was cute. I mean, it was what it's supposed to be. It's, it's a cute seasonal. It was enjoyable for what it is.
Yeah.
I would like to see these kind of things more kid branded.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd like to see them maybe in their own. I mean, they can be part of continuity, but I think I'd like to see it more. I'd like to see some kind of. I know I'm really dating myself hard, but if you remember, kind of like back in the Star Comics kind of days.
Oh yeah.
There were things that were technically still in continuity.
Yep.
But not at the same time.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that it has to be that like adults can enjoy this and the nostalgia of it, of course. But I'd like to see this becoming something more of like of what's bringing the next generation in to seeing like what's nostalgic. Or
the only story in there that kind of fits that I thought is maybe the Spider-Man story at the end.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you're right.
And there is some wonky pricing lately, but if you've noticed, they don't charge extra for annuals the last year or so.
They've been keeping those at
the annuals have been $4.99.
Yeah.
Any other time recently, a book like this would have been double the size and been $9.99.
Yeah.
So I think there is some bit of an effort of them to try to keep things somewhat more.
I think a $4.99 price point would have been okay on this book.
Yeah, but like just having it being 20 whatever pages,
29
pages,
I counted,
and having it be $6 is just a little. I mean, like the stories are fun. I had the most fun with the Fantastic Four and the X-Men story.
Yeah.
I really didn't like the Spider-Man one.
What?
I don't know. It was just, I don't know if it was the art or something.
Okay.
It threw me off. Like, I was just like, why is Miles hanging out with this dude? Why is Peter fighting Hydro Man all of a sudden? I don't know. And then the quote-unquote friend of Miles, he's like, hey, I saw your buddy run
I
away.
like that part.
And the guy's like, oh, that kid is not my friend.
I like that part because Miles wouldn't let him because Miles ran into the door to change.
Yeah.
And that guy was basically trying to open the door to get saved too. So in his mind, Miles left him to die. So I would have been like, you know what? We aren't friends. If McKay is Spider-Man ever, and he runs in a room and doesn't let me come in to get saved, I'm going to be mad too. But I like that scene because it showed, Peter was showing Miles, like, that's one of the things that sucks the most about a secret identity is you're actually being heroic. You're actually doing a favor for your friends. But for them, all they can see is cowardness and selfishness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that being said, I'm going to go ahead, give this one a 3 out of 5 astonishing Caleb's.
Nice.
Because, like I said, I just can't justify the price point.
I'm going to give it 3 holiday Caleb's. I almost went 2.5, but I felt the stories are good. But I think docking it 2 Caleb's for the price, that feels right to me. Especially being greedy at Christmas just doesn't set right.
Yeah.
McKay.
I'm going to have to give it 3 wise Caleb's.
Nice. Oh, we're so good today.
We are good. All right, last but certainly not least, we got Two-Face.
And hopefully, I think we might have a few of these left at Comics Exchange. I know here we're sold out. Hopefully, we'll be able to order more, get some second prints. I think Grant said he's going to try to order more because this book,
it flew
off the shelves at both places. And I think it was kind of surprising, too, because there wasn't a lot of people asking for it. Because a lot of times that's how the stores figure out what kind they're going to order, how many like pre-orders they have for it.
Well, I didn't even know it was a thing until Josh was like, "Hey, are you checking out Two-Face?" I'm like, "Two-Face has his own book now?"
Number one, solid Josh impersonation. But this is Christian Ward, right?
Yeah, Christian Ward.
Yeah.
Who also does the art.
The premise of this book is there's a court that they basically, the bad guys, it's called the White Court. The bad guys hold court for themselves to figure out issues that are involving like other villains, gangsters, stuff like that. So that way the violence doesn't spill into the streets.
Yeah.
And Harvey Dent is a lawyer again. The most brilliant part in the first issue is the person that's suspected of murder is Mr. Zazaz.
Yes.
And
which I loved.
Harvey's argument why Mr. Zazaz is not the killer, I thought was brilliant. Do we spoil?
Yes, we spoil.
What do you think, McKay?
Why not?
So,
why not?
The cool
Spoiler
thing
alert.
in this is
Lightly spoiled.
lightly spoilers. Kind of like they're doing this Two-Face more like the Hulk and Bruce Banner, where there's hatred between the two.
Or the Green Goblin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because the last page reminded me a lot of the Starship Hulk series, but not in a bad way. I'm down for this book. I was super surprised with how much I enjoyed this book.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
What did you think?
What's
of
your
it?
thoughts?
Shoot! Let me flip a coin first and see what I think about it. No, what's your?
You know,
I'm gonna put it back up here.
I can't help but think of these things in like some larger tenses.
No, that's okay. You're very
larger thoughts.
philosophical.
As I just think DC is knocking like the writing right now out of the park.
Out of the park.
Even when they're doing the time-honored tradition, of absolutely stealing a complete thing from another company.
Yeah.
Which this is
It took them 20 some odd years though.
this is absolutely ultimate. I mean, sorry, absolute.
I'm glad we didn't start our drinking game where you drink every time we say absolutely this week.
Dang
But
it.
yeah.
Next week.
But I mean, they even took what should have been basically a cash grab of like, oh, we can do that.
Yeah.
And like actually putting some incredible work into it.
Yeah, agree.
I mean, it could very well could have been, okay, hold my beer. We can do this Ultimate Spider-Man thing. We can do this Ultimates thing.
Yeah.
But man, it's they've really put the effort into it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And like even this, which isn't even an absolute title, like this is just.
One of their new all in.
Detective Comics is right now is banging.
Yep.
This is banging.
Superman.
Just so much. Like DC's really, and just let me, if you'll mind me veering off.
Veer off.
Do what you want. You're the guest.
Looking at this from a longer tense, like in the 90s.
Yeah.
And before and such, it felt like, what drove the medium and what was really popular was the art.
Yep.
Like you had superstar artists, McFarlane, Liefeld, Lee, whoever have you.
Yeah.
And if there was somebody who wasn't that big of a comic book fan, they still knew probably those big names from when they did read.
Yeah.
Like, people coming in here still today and they know who Todd McFarlane is, who Jim Lee is, etc.
Yeah.
But somewhere around the late 2000s or 2010s, that changed.
Yep.
To right now, if you'll notice, we just talk way more about who's writing a story than who's drawing the story.
Yeah.
That's true.
And even right now, I mean, on none of the books we have discussed so far have we even mentioned the artist's name.
This is true, yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
We haven't at one time, and going back to other shows, like we're talking about the stories, the course of the stories. Even if we're not naming the writer, we're referring to the work of the writer 99% of the time.
Yeah.
We haven't even discussed, like I said, the art style or even the artist names on any of these books.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really compelling thing to think about.
It's very telling.
And it's just how much better the storytelling is now.
Yes.
Because they're trying to save this medium right now.
Yep.
And the art's not going to do it.
No, it also makes sense too to make
by
it
itself.
right.
By
like I say.
itself, it's got to have a good story behind it.
Yeah.
Because
it
there
makes-
were too many times in the 90s where they were overprinting things, and there
Yep.
were too many titles, and there wasn't enough talented artists to do everything.
What makes sense about like leaning more for the comics industry, leaning more on the writers, is a writer can do more than one book a month.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And but I just
But
think,
by the way, phenomenal art across the board in
Yes.
these books.
Oh,
Phenomenal art.
I'm not by no means disparaging the art. I'm just
Oh,
saying
yeah.
that's to me right now,
Yep.
that's not what people are the most interested in.
Yeah.
People are interested in good storytelling.
It's about
Yep.
content.
Yep.
You know,
Mhm.
and that goes across all mediums right now. Like everything right now. I mean, there was a time my entire life, there was a difference, a notable difference in quality, or at least mentally, from television and movies.
Oh, for sure.
Like there were movie stars that wouldn't be caught dead on television.
Yeah. And now
You know, that was where you
total
went for
crossover.
your
Yeah.
to try to save your career or try to stay relevant.
Yeah.
And now that's totally different. Every medium now, video games, movies, television, you know, everything, comic books is all just wildly content driven.
Yep.
Like there's so much good stuff. Like everybody's having to raise their games, I think, to maybe the highest ever.
Which
Yeah.
is great.
Because I think you're really seeing comic books right now evolve. Not that they haven't been literature; they have been for a long time. But now you're getting to like, I think maybe a golden age of comic book writing right now.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like I can tell you, like on the Comic Exchange podcast, we do like the top books of the year, and I'm dreading when we finally have to whittle it
Oh,
down
well,
to five
it's going to be
books.
vicious.
It's going to be
super
But to get back to
wild.
this particular book, I can't help but look at this book, and
Yeah.
while I was reading it, I just continued to think how this may be one of the only times a book like this would be as relevant as I think this is about to be.
Okay.
Okay.
You know, I think that, not that I'm saying it's the greatest thing ever,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying there was a time when just you have a random Batman villain have a series by itself.
Yeah.
Then it was just, you could disregard it.
And it's usually
So-
like the Joker.
Yeah, or whoever.
Yeah.
You know, a Penguin 4-parter.
Yeah.
Or a whatever.
Yep.
And you can, Mr. Freeze or whatever.
Yep.
And like you can disregard it, or and it doesn't really matter that much way in the scheme of things one way or another.
Yeah.
I feel as I was reading this, I
Yeah.
felt like I have to pay more attention to this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
This
also
does-
Two-Face's
doesn't feel
first ongoing series.
Is
He's
it
had
really?
he's had one
Really?
shots like
Okay.
One Bad Day a few years
yeah.
ago, but this is the first Two-Face.
And
ongoing.
I just think with the Penguin show out, with
Yep.
the, you know, they're going back to hit some of these other IPs and these other side characters.
Yep.
You know, it's like any collection you go look at now. Like a collection comes in here, and there's the Iceman miniseries from the '80s, or there's the Gambit miniseries, or
Yeah.
a Rogue miniseries, and like
Yep.
they're cool, but like they don't really mean anything in the long run. Like,
Yeah.
not really. They're not really serious part of the continuity. It's
Yeah.
just something you picked up that you enjoyed at the time, and it doesn't remain that relevant in the long term.
I think that's one of the things that hurts this industry right now is way too many like solo character miniseries.
Mhm.
Like
But I'm just saying, like with this, I think the quality is good enough here
Absolutely.
that I'm like, I need to take this more seriously.
yeah,
Mhm.
The quality's getting put into this, and I'm going to put more attention into this.
yeah, it's a good book.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we.
and
did
I'm not
this.
saying it's the greatest thing
Yeah.
ever.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But
It's good.
yeah, it's
What you think,
very
Matt?
good. I need to see more.
yeah.
Mhm.
I think it can still go off the rails and get tedious quickly.
But it did what a first issue needs
Yes.
to do, and this
I'm
make you say,
interested.
I'm in.
I'm interested. I
Yeah.
want to see if that quality stays up.
Yep.
But yeah, color me intrigued.
Yeah.
What we're coloring you.
Color me impressed.
Oh, that's
Um,
not a collar.
I'm impressed with this.
Yeah.
I didn't really know what to think going in, but yeah, this is a very compelling first issue. Again, takes place in a courtroom, kind of. The difference between this book and Venom is I actually gave a crap about what was going on in this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
Whereas that one, I was just like, okay.
yeah,
But yeah, so great first issue for Two-Face. I really liked the art. I thought the art style was perfect for this type of story. I'm definitely really intrigued to see like where it goes, and I agree with everything both of these guys have said. It's really cool to see a lot of these characters that don't normally get their own little series get their series. Because, like you were saying, this is the first time Two-Face has had his own
ongoing
series.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. I think
Yeah.
I think Two-Face is a very underused Batman villain as of right now. I think he's one of the best Batman villains, but he's also one of the most underused.
Yeah.
He doesn't get used a lot, in my opinion.
And the twist of this is brilliant.
Yeah, it's great. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna give it a.
You're trying to think of something clever. You'll get it. You want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
So I would say first off, if your store still has this book, go ahead and grab number
it.
1. If they don't, ask your store if they can order it, and make sure you get on subscription list for 2 and out, because I think this book is going to build from the first issue as far as the sales go. I am totally giving this 5.2 Caleb's. I can't think of anything either. 5.2 Caleb's out of 5. I enjoy this. I'm going to look at more of Christian Ward's work. This was fantastic to me.
I'm going to give this 5 happy Two-Faced Caleb's.
Okay. I don't like Caleb being Two-Faced.
I don't think he'll be Two-Faced either, but I couldn't think of anything else. And McKay is definitely going to blow us up out of the water with what he's going to say. I'm sure.
Too much pressure.
He's leaning forward.
I'm putting pressure on you just to hope that you'll cave.
I was just going something a little side stepped, and we're not really.
Yeah.
And go. I'm going to give this 4 Caleb Dents.
Oh, Caleb Dents. Okay.
Caleb Dents. I like it.
Nice. But yeah, if we had to pick a book of the week, this is
it's Two-Face.
Absolutely my favorite book of the week. Next week I think we're gonna do Dan Waters, who's writing who wrote recently The One Hand and the Six Fingers book. He's really good. We're gonna do his Batman book, and I know we're gonna do the Ultimate Universe 1 Year In book, which is also, by the way, if you're somebody that likes like first appearances, that's gonna be the first appearance of Ultimate Wolverine as far as a few other characters.
And so we're going to do those books, but I also want to kind of open it up to everyone who's watching. So, like, I want our audience and our community to pick one of the books that we're reading.
Tell us what we're reading.
Tell us what we're reading.
Yeah.
This is kind of a social experiment. Please don't make us read garbage, or maybe make us read garbage. I don't know. It'll be fun to hear us talk about it, but whatever book you guys want us to talk about, let us know in the comments. I think it'd be fun just to get a community voted book next week.
If you're in the Knoxville community, I know it's been crazy the last few weeks for all the stores with Diamond and everything.
Yes.
We're hoping Diamond is back to normal this week with all the shipment. So all the indie books that everybody's been missing for the last 2 weeks are if your store gets their Marvel and Image to Diamond. Everything will hopefully be sorted this week, and I can speak for Comic Exchange and Nirvana, and I'll say, like, we appreciate your patience while we're dealing with all this nonsense. And don't forget, there is the Christmas tree here. If you are in need of a gift for your child, 1 gift per child. But stop by. I think we're going to replenish the gifts.
Definitely.
Right now it's stocked. There's so much good stuff. Jazz, Grant, and the elves did a really good job. Like, I don't even know if Grant. You know what? Scratch Grant out of that. Jazz and the elves did a really good job wrapping everything. But yeah, I guess sign us off.
Yeah, I did a couple things right quick.
Go ahead. Okay.
Yeah.
Say
You're
hi.
like doing a Columbo thing right now.
Woo!
One more thing.
One more thing.
Well, 2 more things actually.
Okay.
If he's still there, I want to say hi to Henry Martinez, a great artist.
Love you, Henry.
That's
and such a good dude too.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
top shelf guy,
Absolutely
great friend. It's been just awesome to get to know Henry. If you're still with us, how you doing, buddy?
Love you, man.
The other thing, I want to give us a rare piece of breaking news.
There's breaking news.
There's breaking news.
There is breaking news.
Breaking news.
That circles us back around to our Christmas gift giveaway.
Okay.
The post that was put out maybe an hour before we started this.
Yeah.
Has gone absolutely insane.
Woo!
It is in less than an hour. I think there's approaching 150 likes on that.
Oh wow!
Still make sure to share the post, guys.
Share it.
Please share the post. It is actually, in the time we've been sitting here, has gotten enormous traction.
Oh, it's already at 121 shares.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Okay, please, guys.
Shares or likes?
Shares.
Shares
Oh,
and
incredible.
132.
But please,
132
if you
likes.
are watching this, please continue to help donate.
Yep.
Not just sharing it to people who need, which is important. But please help us be able to sustain this for as long as we can towards Christmas.
And don't do like me and accidentally donate a dog toy that is then given. I brought in a Spider-Man like stuffy thing, right? And Jazz comes back from her and goes, "Ryan, this is a dog toy." And I went, "Oh!" And so I put on it. This is actually for Caleb, who thankfully took it.
Hey, pets need gifts too.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are disadvantaged pets that need toys.
But seriously,
that got me.
This is my favorite part of the year is what you guys are doing here.
As we're closing off,
Yeah.
Matt, can you kind of give us a shot of the tree as we're closing?
Yeah, I definitely can. But yeah, guys, like seriously, if you guys know someone who needs a gift for their children, please send them our way, and just keep continuing to share and like it and donate. We want to make sure that no child is left without a gift on Christmas.
Yeah, and like I said, there's still like in front when you first come in, there is a box that you can drop off donations. Because I imagine playing, especially with how hot this is getting.
And thank you to everybody who has donated so far. We've had a lot of wonderful customers. Man, we have the best subscribers and customers and friends that come here to the shop.
Yeah.
Anybody could ever ask for. I mean, you overuse the word community and stuff, but we just do have an incredible, not just in our shop, but in our city.
Yeah. The community, because I've seen people like the last 2 or 3 weeks since we've been like doing the donations that go to other stores who just drop in because they wanted to give gifts. So please, if you have a gift, drop it off.
And this doesn't benefit us a penny.
No.
This is clear. This is purely. I mean, we even had some of our great subscribers and friends, helping us wrap these over the last few days. We had a whole little workshop.
We're going to have the names for next week to give them shout outs.
Yeah, well, we will.
Yeah.
We had friends who came and spent their free time to come help wrap these presents.
Dude, there was a Green Goblin toy.
I come so close.
I was like, I'll probably get sent to hell if I do this, but I want that Green Goblin. Yeah.
We did not take the
We
Green
did not
Goblin.
take any. Now, if you see me the next time you come in here and I'm flying around with the Green Goblin, don't ask questions.
Don't ask questions. He bought it himself.
But seriously, all things considered, that's so awesome that this is blowing up because it needs to blow up.
It needs to.
Like I said, keep sharing it. Christmas is it's a hard time of year for a lot of people. So like, just if you can give somebody joy, and especially a child. It's super important. But like I said, everything over there is age appropriate. So just come on.
We've had some incredible gifts get donated.
Dude, there is some amazing stuff like that Green Goblin we just talked about. Like maybe another dog toy slipped by Grant.
I mean, it's not just not that there's anything wrong with any toy, but it's not just the cheapest things. There have been some really incredible things been brought in. So thank you to everybody who has supported us.
Thank you so much to anyone who brought stuff in.
We have a great community.
Like I said, like this is all about community. This is one of the reasons why we built this page. Yeah. This is why we built this group. This is
why we built this city on rock and roll.
Yeah.
This is also why this is not the Nirvana page. This is the Knoxville Comic Collective. We have, full stop, the best comic book market in the Southeast in Knoxville.
And what I like about it, like for instance, Comics Exchange, Nirvana, we all get along. I mean, we're all in the same kind of business.
Yeah.
But we work with each other like you should.
You know, Ryan here, if you don't know, actually works / helps at both shops.
Yeah, I'm like a double agent.
Yeah, and that's why
I'm like I'm like the Bo Jackson of.
That's how. Well, I know
McKay will.
Two sports, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But you know that's how tight knit we can be shop to shop, and you know some things are about the bigger overall community. This is not about our store.
Nope.
This isn't about a dollar earned. This is about doing what's right for our customers the way they've been doing right for us. That's really important.
Yep.
You want to wrap it up for I think the third time.
Wrap us up.
I want you to wrap us up, guys. It was great
like Christmas
to have McKay here. So I'm going to let McKay sign us off, and then I will pan over to the tree real briefly to show you guys where to come to get the gifts. So, McKay, I want you to sign us off. I'm going to kind of start walking.
Thanks for sitting through the three of us talking crazy. I'm going to try to do this more often than I can. My schedule makes it hard to get to stay this long on Sunday sometimes, but I'll try to do this more. There's been a lot of fun. We're going to sign off with Mac showing you the incredible tree. But take care.
Yep. And if you guys are wanting to come to the tree, all you got to do is walk back here. And here it is with all the amazing presents. So definitely make sure no child gets... So make sure every child gets a present on Christmas. Plenty of great stuff. And keep donating, like we said. All right, guys, we all love you very much, so hope you all have a great rest of your day and a great week. See you on the next one. Peace.